Hello, welcome again to not a full episode of Sticks and Stones, but what say you comes in a little while. Right now, I'd like to offer my thoughts and prayers to everybody in Ukraine and everything that's going on in Ukraine. It's a really wild situation. The people are at a point where they are taking up arms and they're defending themselves against the Russians. The Russians have surrounded Kiev. The Russians have literally invaded from three different directions: from the north in Belarus, the east from Russia itself, and then from the south from what is that by where Crimea is, the Black Sea, I think it's called. Pretty sure, not too smart. But they're doing it. The people are doing exactly what the people should have done and should do. Anybody putting in that situation. You got an invading force coming into your country trying to take what's yours. Stand up and fight, and that's exactly what they're doing. The president of Ukraine, he's that man's a hero. He's a hero. Everybody will remember his name after this. He's a hero. He could have ran, but he did not. They offered him an escape. He stayed. He's a hero. Plain and simple. And my thoughts and prayers go out to the Ukrainian people. They are in real trouble, but they are fighting back. They're doing everything in their power to stop the Russians. There was supposedly peace talks maybe earlier today at the border of Belarus, and it didn't go well. It broke down completely. I'm assuming the Russians want complete and utter submission. They want them to lay down their arms, and that's it. Give up. You're done. You're Russia now. And the Ukrainians want the Russians to immediately cease fire and get the fuck out of their land. They're just like any sensible sovereign country would. Get out of my land. Get out of our land. That's it. Plain and simple. You should not invade another sovereign country. That's not your land. That get out. I don't understand why this aggression is so extreme. I'm not too politically up to date with what's going on. There's a lot of he said and she said, and they might this and they might that, and no this and that, NATO this and Russia that, and man, look. Simple fact is, what Russia is doing is bad. You literally are surrounding a city right now full of civilians, and you're saying you're gonna take it. How else are you gonna take it by just going in there? These people are not gonna lay down their arms. They're gonna fight you, tooth and nail. Leonidas and the 300. They are all willing to die to stop you. And if you don't get stopped there, you will be stopped eventually. Because the world sees you. Everybody sees you. And right now the fear is that we're going to push Russia into some kind of like alliance with China, which is incredibly terrible. You got a country that does nothing but sell, and you got a country that does nothing but buy, so they could just live off each other forever, and then the rest of the world is screwed, absolutely screwed. So again, my thoughts and prayers goes out to the Ukrainian people. They're doing exactly what they should do, and we as Americans, we know full well what it's like to be controlled by other people, whether it be people like me, black people, or I'm sorry, African Americans, myself, Puerto Rican American, Hispanic, anybody who's not white, basically, in this country knows what it feels like to be segregated, subjected, and put down. I'm not saying that whites weren't slaves themselves, because we all know they were. I mean, the Romans, they didn't care what color you were. Slavery isn't just about one color, it's not a racist thing. I'm sorry, but slavery is not a racist thing. It's like a corporate thing, companies and landowners and farm owners and stuff like that. They just They, free and cheap labor. That's what it was. That's the driving force of it. But moving off topic, I digress. Again, hearts and prayers goes out to these guys. They're doing exactly what they need to do, and you know, I just thought I'd get this out before I jump into the actual video. Uh, and I mean, later today, I have a good buddy of mine I've known pretty much my entire life. His name is Derek Miller. Very funny man. Very very cool guy. Love him to death. Again, one of my best friends. He'll be on a little later. Uh, and yeah. I mean, go Ukraine. Keep doing it, man. Don't stop fighting. Don't. Do not stop fighting for your freedoms. Nobody should. Nobody should just lay down and let a government or a corporation just tell you what to do and how to do it, how to live your life, how to think, how to breathe, how to eat. No. God gave us the right to live and have free will and to do whatever the fuck we want. If we want to fuck up our own lives, we're going to fuck up our own lives. If we want to make our lives better, we're going to make our own lives better. But you can't just come into a completely sovereign country and try to take over because you're scared that you'd be bordered with NATO. Like, you're already bordered with NATO. What are you scared for? It's not those countries' fault that Russia is asshole, plain and simple. All right, they don't like the way you treated them, so they left. Poland left. What else is there? Ukraine left. Like, nobody, like Georgia tried to leave. Like, nobody likes to be under rule of a crazy dictator-style government that's Russia. Or even China. Like, China wants to take Taiwan off the map, even though if you look at a map, they don't even put Taiwan on the map because the maps are made in China. But I'm getting off topic here. I'm going to go back to what I was saying. It's prayers, and they need them. They need them. They need all the support they can get. Please, with that being said, please like and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think that I can improve on. Tell me what you think that I should stop doing. I need all the feedback I can get. I'm new at this. I want to make this my main hobby, eventually into my career. I enjoy doing this. This is really fun for me, and I enjoy and love the feedback, and I need it. I need to know where I go from here. How do I go from here? And all I can do is learn and grow. And I thank you. I love you guys. I love I love everybody who watches these videos. I mean, it doesn't matter. If you're watching it, I love you. You're awesome. Thank you. Like and subscribe. And as always, have fun, be safe, wear a condom. We'll be back in a minute. Of course, I'd have trouble trying to pause this. We'll be back in a minute. And we're back. We are back. Derek Miller.
Oh, we started?
Oh yeah, we just jumped right in. Yeah, there's no intro, no nothing, man. I go in raw. That's just how it works. Love you, man. Haven't seen you in so long. It's crazy. It's been a wild ride, man. It's been a wild ride. We're just talking about stand-up comedy and improv and stuff like that, and I'm over here thinking, why am I not recording this?
Yeah, there was some gold there.
It's like, blooper reel, whatever. How you been?
Fantastic. Living the dream.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know.
Especially in this day and age. Absolutely.
Sure.
We're old, man. We're getting up there, man. We're getting up there.
I think we're still young. For sure. Yeah, man.
Tell that to my body. You know, it gets a little rough. It gets a little rough, you know. Like you just said, you go up for that layup, you know. It's the coming down part that hurts.
Yeah, I've been working out a lot.
Yeah, I did.
Trying to. I think I'm just kind of chubby right now.
Well, you look a hell of a lot stronger than you did when we were kids. That's for sure.
Well, yeah,
That's for
because
sure.
I didn't work out. That's one of my main, people say, I don't have any regrets. I have a lot of them. One of my main regrets, like in high school, I guess, was not working out or going and getting into shape. And it's not like I was against getting into shape or working out. I think I was more against the people that I associated with fit or athletic people, or is a lot of them were jerks and they made fun of me, or I didn't really care for that crowd. So I associated with bench with a negative person, So anyone who worked out, in my mind, for the longest time, was a jerk, just by association. But as you get older and you get to a certain point and you want to live, I remember when I did a couple things. I did P90X for a while. Great results. I don't know anyone P90X fans out here.
Probably.
Are you familiar?
I'm familiar with it. Yeah, that's that like extreme.
Yeah, Tony Horton. It's a great. It's called Beach. It's from Beachbody. It's like a great info commercial. First off, for those who like info commercials, it's a fantastic. Like
Two in the morning.
Yeah,
you're groggy. Wake up.
Yeah,
like
am I the only?
Get some Tybo.
Right. Am I the only one who just enjoys a good info commercial? Like I really do like info commercials. So it was a fantastic info commercial, and they did basically it was jumping around ultimately for like 90 minutes for 90 days, and that was the whole thing. And I lost a lot of weight doing that. Great exercise, whatnot. And then I
can imagine.
Yeah.
Great for your stamina and just your circulation.
For sure. P90X is a lot of fun. I highly recommend it to anyone. And it's all from home. You can always do it from home. That was a stick. And that was my first intro to working out at all. I had maybe I would run around the block or, I golf, if you want to consider exercise, to a certain extent. Yeah.
Golf cart.
Just a lot of 12-ounce curls normally when I play golf.
I always thought Nick got you into bodybuilding and stuff because he was always big on the bodybuilding and the personal health and stuff like that. So
for sure, he was definitely
he was an influence.
Absolutely. Well, for our good friend Nick, who incredible story in his own right, he lost.
Oh my God.
I don't know, easy 200 pounds all on his own.
Easily.
All on his own.
I mean, when we were kids, he was always a big guy. He was always he towered over us until we got to puberty. And then he just kind of hit that spot and just stopped getting tall.
and then after P90X, I ended up going to getting in a relationship, and I just gained a lot of weight. I just gained a lot of weight and didn't work out. Kind of stopped doing the P90X, and we broke up, and I was just a sloppy mess. I just remember I still am a sloppy mess. I feel right now.
It is what it is.
But I remember, at least I'm a stronger sloppy mess. If that makes any sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Like the only time I don't really hate myself physically is between sets in the gym and I'm walking to the water fountain. Is like those 20 steps, I feel like I could just punch out Superman.
You're the fucking king of the world, man.
At that point, that's really the only time that I don't hate myself physically at this current time. But previously, I was fat and not strong at all. So I remember walking in my apartment, and the lamp in my living room caught me a certain way, where it cast a shadow on the wall. It was like,
oh, that Alfred Hitchcock kind of.
I was like,
oh,
what?
Hell no.
I was like, what the fuck? It's ridiculous. So I ultimately Googled how to get strong, and I went down a wormhole and I came across basically strong lift 5x5, which is all power building lifts and exercises. It's
How does that change your diet though? Like, cause I know you have to. When I did it for a little while, I know my diet was extreme. Like, it was literally me eating every 2 to 3 hours.
no, I don't do that.
But I was doing the whole powerlifting thing. But then I had to stop because I got injured, you know. And then I just got fat. Like, I went up to 320, you know. So.
Well, I didn't change my diet. I didn't really change my diet. Really, I was eating a lot more protein. That's really about it.
Yeah, I think that's the major
but
thing.
I wasn't
Protein
really,
and carbs.
Yeah, I wasn't really. Probably the reason why I'm kind of chubby right now. I don't give a shit about my diet.
He pulls out a hamburger.
I try to make healthier choices. I guess. I guess my biggest problem though is, and then bear with me here. Get off the subject here, but I know you have a couple different personas. Like I always call you Chris. What do you prefer? What do you?
You know what?
I've always called you Chris. I know you have friend circles that call you other things.
I've been Nino my entire life.
Right.
My mother has called me Nino since birth. So on my birth certificate, it's Nino Christopher Bienvenido Velez. That's my full name.
Well, I want to call you whatever.
You can call me whatever.
We're in the world of different pronouns. Right now, so I want to make sure I don't want to,
I mean, I think I still consider myself a male.
I call you when I refer to you when I talk to you when you're not around. I always call you Chris, or actually Velez.
Velez, that's fine too. Yeah, a lot of people in high school like
Velez, yeah. Big last name.
And that's weird too. When I first moved out to Oaklawn, I never understood why everybody out here called me by my last name, but everybody in the city would call you by your first name. But when I moved out here, it was almost like a whole different world, because I went from Nino to Velez, but then all the teachers would be like, "Oh, well, your name is Christopher." All right, so they just called me Chris, and that stuck. Like, honest to God, I was not anything but Nino until I got to high school. Until the high school teachers, and Boone in particular, Boone refused to call me Nino by my nickname. He goes, "No, your name is Christopher."
I always call you Christopher Velez.
Right, yeah, and that's my name, and I go by either one. I answer to either one, My family calls me Nino. All my friends, especially you, everybody who's known me for so long will call me Chris, because that's exactly what you know me as. But as soon as I left high school, it went right back to Nino. It is what it is. And I know I confused a lot of people with it at first. Everyone's like, "Wait, who the fuck is Nino?" Like, what the fuck? But it is. It's an interesting backstory, I guess. It's an origin story.
Well, I completely lost my train of thought. I think I had a thought there. It was going to be very.
Oh no, and you know what? I like that, because honestly, we can probably go off in a fucking corkscrew of any direction of any topic. It really doesn't even matter, Oh man. I know I did a stupid move. Oh. I haven't played this game in 20 years. I figured, little backstory. We were in chess club as kids. It was well.
Not really.
No, we went to the chess club. We were on the chess team. We just ate everybody up.
I don't know what's more interesting is the fact of, like, what makes us more of like a nerd, like being a part of the actual chess team, or the two guys who just hung around.
We did. We didn't even participate one bit. We just went there and
I don't want to see you guys in public.
Oh man. Oh, good times though. Man, en passant. Good times. Such a, like it's like the flood of memories are just hitting me, man. We were such idiots in high school, but it was so much fun. It was so much fun, and then I feel like that attitude that we had in high school kind of like helped me develop who I wanted to be, because my freshman year I didn't know who the fuck I was. And then I met you. Day one. Literally day one. I met you. When I went in there, when I went into high school, I had no idea how it was going to be, how I was going to be. I was still in the city in my head, I had that mentality of I'm gonna fight anybody who fucks with me, and I kind of did up until like junior year when I really just kind of stopped being an asshole to everybody, but then started being even more of an asshole to everybody, but in a sense of
Well, you did it with a smile on your face.
yeah, it was more for comedy's sake, you know, and doing the improv, which is you know we were talking about earlier how that'll always be my first love. Improvisation, performing on stage, that'll be my love. That's my first love. My second love was professional wrestling. When I started doing professional wrestling, I fucking loved it because I already knew how to work a crowd, I already knew how to work a mic, and I was physically able to do it. I loved it. It was like one of the best things in the world for me to do is to get in a wrestling ring and just have the entire crowd in the palm of your hand. It's the best feeling in the world. I fucking loved it. And then I hurt myself. Haven't been in a wrestling ring since.
Where did you hurt?
My lower back. I got whipped out of the ring, and the spot went where I was supposed to go over the ring and land on the outside because it was kind of like a Royal Rumble situation. But this guy who was from WCW, I can't remember his name, some French guy, he threw me way too high because he clearly was way stronger than I thought he was. He threw me. I panicked, grabbed the top rope, slingshot it because when I was going up, I grabbed the rope. So it went like that, and I went back down.
Is there a video of this?
If you look it up, IUWA, it's from the Paul Hall Center. God, fucking 15 years ago. It was a battle royal, and I went up, I went down, and that was it. That was it. I had my jaw broken. Man, that was interesting. This man, we started our own wrestling company, and we had our first show. That first show, I broke my jaw because I missed a spot. I turned around and caught a foot, bam, right in my mouth. It was the worst. I mean, I've never been hit like that so hard in my life, and I just boom, and I'm sitting there, and all I can remember is looking at the lights, and I was just. And then my tag team partner at the time was like, yo, and he reached in, tagged and threw me out, and at the rest of that match, I was just, as my face is swelling on the side of the ring. Oh, a lot of good times, man. Wrestling was good. Wrestling was fun. You know, it's not like golf. Golf is way more relaxing and less, physical.
Yeah, maybe less physical for sure. I don't know about relaxing though.
Really, I think mini golf is kind of relaxing.
Well,
That's as far as I go.
Follow me on Instagram, Six Pack Golfer. I don't really post much on there, but
there you go. Plug yourself. Hell yeah.
I plan to do a little bit more this year when it comes to different golf stuff. But golf's a great game, and it's a lot of fun until you have expectations. And then once you have expectations, and then that's when the hurting starts. And then when you take it very seriously, there's a lot of I think about golf. I don't know, good 75% of the day.
So that's your main. What word am I looking for? That's like your release
Hobby.
Yeah, you know your downtime. You know, and I'd love to play a round of golf with you, even though I probably wouldn't be able to hit the ball.
Well, you need your own clubs.
That's for sure.
First and foremost.
Don't have
I
that.
golf with everybody, so by all means, you're more than welcome to come on to the
golf
course.
shop right down the street. I'll go rent some clubs. Show up looking cool, not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. I'll head to toe, man. I'll wear the flannel, the corduroy pants.
Plaid,
yeah, the plaid.
I bought a couple of golf shirts, and they're kind of crazy designs, you know. So one has pineapples, the other has donuts on it.
It's sticking out like the stock market.
So
you're like,
I'm
sell!
Pretty excited about it. I'm gonna be the crazy golf shirt guy this year. That's my summer plans. Hot boy summer is what. That's how that's gonna start ultimately.
There you go. You win them tournaments, man.
Yeah, golf's a great hobby. I don't know if it's my biggest release though. I'm sure I have a tab somewhere on my phone for that. But yeah,
Scroll
golf.
past the Pornhub first.
Yeah. I'm a lobster tube guy. Ever heard of lobster tube?
What the fuck is that?
It's like kayak for porn. It has like it groups all the different. You never heard of lobster tube?
I want to.
So first off, I think let me first say this. I think porn is horrible, and it's a poison to your mind.
It is. It does destroy your expectations of reality.
For sure.
Yeah,
it's not
100%.
great, and I can only imagine how it's just killing the youth of society. I mean,
If
I'm
they're not
not
killing
really,
killing themselves.
I'm not really joking here. I think I could only imagine all these expectations and having this so readily, at your fingertips. Now that being said, Lobster Tube's a fantastic website if you do want to get free porn.
Can you imagine though, some kid who's been sheltered their whole life, and they do nothing but watch porn, and they come into a situation where they do have a really hot stepmom?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you have
Would
to,
you?
Yeah, well, I guess like I'm all for shooting your shot for sure.
Right, you got
know.
to, right? At that
Yeah,
point.
but it's like at what point, like hot stepmom in the sense of like when were they like
Wait,
what?
how old is she?
No, I guess like how old was the kid when they became the stepmom? Right?
That's a good point. That is a
like
good point.
Is it like the third trophy wife of your exact dad who's never there for you, who never saw one little league game you ever fucking played, and then yeah, sure, but if it's like some who replaced your mother,
she's raised you since birth.
I don't know if that's appropriate.
At that point, it would be a little taboo, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man. What do you do? Like, what do you do for work? Like, how do you make that living?
I'm a salesperson. I'm a salesman.
Should have called that.
Yeah. Currently sales.
Well, you've always been good. You've always been good with words. You've always had a knack for saying the right things at the wrong time.
Wow.
But it's all. I've always thought that you were gold when it came to that comedic timing, when it came to hit somebody with an insult or a joke or a witty comeback, or just man,
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
so many memories of us just
Before
doing our
before
thing.
I forget, I want to thank you for having me come on your show, Chris.
Oh, no problem, man.
And,
no problem. It's my honor. It's my honor, man.
A lot of people talk about doing something, and I know this just is starting out.
Yeah.
We're at the
infancy stage.
Infancy stage of it, but a lot of people talk about doing stuff like this, and they never even get to this point. So I would say kudos to you for even coming here and getting this started. So.
Oh yeah, and again, I'm still learning. I got to learn the programs, the switchboard and whatnot, and I'm still learning how to edit and do all that other stuff. It's a learning process. It really is, but it's really fun. This whole experience has been really fun. As a matter of fact, the last my last episode, I interviewed my buddy Eric, which is he's I guess I could say like almost damn near a professional bodybuilder. Like he's amazing. He's huge. The guy looks like a young Triple H. Like he's just gigantic. Like we were watching videos.
What does Triple H stand for?
Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
The more you know.
I know you're not much into you're not a wrestling guy.
I have no idea. That is, I had no idea, nor did I have the energy to Google it.
Right, like.
Yeah.
Oh man, like it's like there's so much I wanna like cover, but we got a couple hours. I don't care. Slow process. Oh yeah. Oh man, I'm not even gonna do that because every time I do that, you beat me. You did that?
Oh,
that I remember.
Fool's mate.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen, but yeah.
Well, I think it's important. I think if you ever play anybody in chess, and I haven't played in a while, and I don't think neither is Chris.
No,
But,
no. This literally is the first time I've played.
Yeah, I haven't played in a while. But you should always do if you just want to impress somebody in chess, you should try the Fool's Mate. It's a very simple. If anyone who plays chess knows it, super easy. But like if you just want to like, oh, you're an expert at chess or something, you could.
You want to make yourself look good.
Yeah,
you know?
you could definitely make yourself look good if the other person had never seen it before, and you basically do it. You can get checkmate in a couple of moves, and you just walk off like Bobby Fischer, just disappear. Never play that guy again. Though.
Just flip the board and get out of there.
Exactly.
Oh man, yeah, like, and that's this. Honestly, this game really has taught me a lot, just from the experience of playing it with the people that I know. Because honestly, besides you and that one kid, O'Malley kid, that used to be really good, there was nobody that was able to touch us. Nobody, except for me and you. I'm almost positive we went 50-50. Like the whole 4 years of high school, every game it was either you or me, or back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and that gave me like, it taught me a lot, because it taught me I'm not gonna win every time, but I'm not gonna lose every time either. You know, so it just you really do learn a good life lesson off of this game in particular. You know, it's not like checkers. Checkers is very straightforward, very.
What about Flying Kings?
What?
In checkers, Flying Kings.
Oh yeah, pop, 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 pop. See, that's just like.
I can get intense. Right?
Especially if you got two of them flying around in that motherfucker. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I'm stumped.
Well, it is interesting. I think what I find interesting about life when it comes to games, because I love playing games. Chess is my uncle taught me how to play chess, and so my uncle, yeah, R.I.P. My uncle.
Good man.
Well,
funny man. Good. I liked him.
Good's a
He was a
relative.
really good guy.
Good's a real. Yeah, I mean, good in the sense of like he'd kill someone for you. Like he would do it. But he had a lot of flaws.
he did scare the shit out of me.
Yeah. So
he scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, my uncle had a substance abuse problem, which he battled his entire life. Anyway, but he taught me how to play chess in a lot of different games. And what's interesting about that to me is he learned he did things a certain way with playing chess, and I took a little bit from him and I made it my own. And then same thing, we used to play Risk all the time. Big.
Oh man, that was so much fun.
Yeah, big Risk. I love. Sorry,
Oh, you did.
I have a
you
wrist
did.
tattoo.
That is awesome.
That's how much I love the board game Risk.
That is. I mean, I remember playing with you guys. That very long, crazy, just intense.
So I learned how to do it a certain way because that's how I grew up.
Right.
And then we brought my nephew in, and he's actually graduating from not basic training, but his second. I don't know, what would you call it? He's like his college, or I don't know, whatever the second thing is after basic. So he's actually graduating in a couple of weeks. He's going to go out to Oklahoma. But he used to play chess Risk with us, and now he learned everything from me and my uncle. So now it's actually a little piece of us have gone into the way he plays it. So
I love it.
And what's interesting about that is, which is kind of like you're almost like you with Frankenstein's monster, is now you've taught a kid how to play a game, and you're really kind of playing against a better version of yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he took everything that I took everything that my uncle told me. I made it my own, and he took everything I did, and he made it his own. So you're actually playing against a better version of yourself, which I think is super cool.
Right. Can you beat him?
In Risk, or yeah, I mean it's. It was for a while. It was pretty much we had a game night would be me, my uncle, and my nephew, and then towards the end, there was a lot of times where my uncle was a little bit out of it, and for some of his medication he was on, just for different health issues. So he didn't really he was there, you know. I don't know what would be the equivalent of. He was like I don't know how. Yeah, I don't want to insult anybody here, but like, what would be like along for the ride? Kind of like he was there, but he was along for the ride. Uh, so it was really ultimately me against him for a very long time. And we haven't played it in a while, unfortunately. Ever since my uncle passed, we have yet to get a game going. We came close to a game during this holiday season, but that's Omicron was going, and people were a little bit hesitant to get together and do a game night.
Yeah. What do you think about all that? I don't mean to get like political or talk too much about like the real world or whatnot, but like, what do you think? What do you think about that?
Like as an Omicron or
Like just
in
in general, like how everything is playing out, like how it started, how it is, the process of everybody went through, how we.
I mean,
have to live now.
I've been living my life pretty normal for the last year and a half.
Same. I mean,
Yeah.
not gonna lie, same. I mean, I still take precautions. Got to wear the mask. Got to do all that stuff. I'm not gonna get vaccinated. That's my personal choice. I'm not saying that I'm against it, but I am 100% against mandates. I'm against anybody telling me what I can and can't do, what I should and shouldn't do. That's not your choice. That's not up to you. That's up to me.
I agree.
So that's my stance on that. But I digress. I don't want to talk about that. But I mean, it does happen. It does come up. It's just one of those things where you can't. It's like the big elephant in the room. In a sense, like no matter how hard you try, it just kind of creeps up on you.
I don't know. I think it's everything's very. I think we're pretty lined up on this. I think for the most part, I think a lot of it is just arbitrary. I think ultimately, when it comes down to it, and this is very hard for a lot of people to wrap their mind around, especially politicians, is sometimes doing nothing is the best course of action, or doing very little is the best course of action. And it doesn't make sense logically. I think for most people, right?
Right. So everybody wants a solution. They want an answer. They want results right there.
Yeah. So this is the kind of how I think of it when it comes to different politicians and the way they felt like they had to do something to make it look like they were doing something. And even though the best course of action was probably not doing as much as they did. So they put all these different mandates on, and it's like, look, we're trying to help you. Even though I think they ultimately hurt the case. In a way, it's kind of like, you get a girl's phone number, you get a girl phone number. You really like this girl. You're super. You got a thing for you. Finally get a number, and you're so excited. But the best course of action is not to call her right away.
And
just let it play out for a little bit. Let's build some emotions, and then eventually call her. That's kind of ultimately is all these different mandates and whatnot was calling the girl the second you got her phone number. Which was a mistake.
Right.
Which causes all this. Now you're this weird needy guy.
You're right. Oh, thanks for the number.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna call you and make sure it's not fake. Or even
as her buddy, the dude down the bar gets the phone call.
You need to do. Sometimes it's important to do less. Ultimately,
and I agree. I 100% agree. Because honestly, I feel like they made it worse. Not as far as the virus goes.
Did you move?
Yes. I pawned. Not as far as the virus goes, but as far as like the mask mandates and the masking the kids, just this hysteria that's going on with like, oh my God, wear your mask, and it's like, can you just back off? Like, you're real close for somebody who's worrying about me not wearing a mask. And I'm courteous. I'm courteous though. Like I'll go to the grocery store, I put on my mask. Go to a restaurant, put on my mask. I don't care. I don't even eat at restaurants anymore. I just bring my food here and just enjoy my own personal space. what's the point? Like, I'm single. I don't give a shit. I go out and do what I gotta do. I'm not impressing anybody. I'm not doing anything that's out of. I'm here. That's why I'm doing this. I need a hobby. I need to get my mind off of all the craziness that's going on because it's like I said before, I lost my smile for a long time until all of this happened, and it has been so. God, I'm going to hell. But this has all been really funny to me because it's just nonsense, hysterical nonsense.
Sure.
Like, at first it was, no, I don't wear a mask. What are you, crazy? To no, you gotta wear a mask. Then it's no, you gotta wear 2 masks. It's safe if you wear 2 masks. It's like, okay, can I breathe at some point?
Well, I think I don't know about everybody else, but I knew right off the bat when Fauci said, "Don't wear a mask. Don't
Yeah.
wear a mask." And I'm like, well, I'm not for masks or against masks in a sense, but I'm like, I don't know, maybe wearing a mask wouldn't hurt. I mean,
And that's how I felt.
I think maybe a net, obviously, I think we all learned it. I think we all learned at this current time, it's probably a net neutral. Maybe if you are sick, maybe if you had the mask on, you wouldn't be as likely as to spread it. But he said, no, don't wear a mask. And then he said, okay, now everyone has to wear a mask. And he backtracked. He said, why'd you say don't wear a mask? He's like, well, I didn't want there to be a panic and to have a big run on masks. He said this.
Mm-hmm.
So you already lied to me. So if you're willing to lie to me right then and there, the trust has already been broken. If you're willing to lie to protect masks, which I kind of get, I understand that concept, but you don't tell it. I'm not sure if you would admit to it to a certain extent. But he already lied.
Yeah,
He already lied to everybody. So either one of so after then the trust was broken.
Well, you got to sell it. You're a salesman. You know that. You got to sell it.
Sure.
There was a virus going around. He had to sell that virus. And how do you sell that virus? Through fear. He said one thing. Oh man, that's not going to work. So then he still it's like the concept with seatbelts. Same thing. I don't want to wear a seatbelt, but the car manufacturers, they're going to sell that seatbelt. They're going to be like, no, you got to wear a seatbelt or you will die.
Yeah, I don't believe that seatbelt laws should be. Is that a? I'm religious with my seatbelt. Like I'm a zealot when it comes to you should wear your seatbelt. But I don't think it should be a law. Like if you're under 18, yeah, wear a seat. That should be a law. Get that kid in the car seat. But after 18, if you want to fly out your car window, that's on you. It shouldn't be a law, I guess. It's like
Yeah, it's true. I feel that. And I'm really glad that it didn't get to the point where they made it like some kind of stupid law to you can't go out, you can't do this, you gotta wear this, you gotta do the shit. Like I'm glad that that's not the path that this country took, because I have a feeling that would have stirred up a lot worse stuff that's going on now.
Whose movie is it? Mine or yours? I canceled. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's right, you did. And then no. Did I? That was already done. That was my first move. I guess it's my turn. Yeah, you castled. You definitely castled. Now, this is the part where I really get messed up, because it's like, all right, we're like 4 moves in. Fuck. What do I do?
Yeah, I think we're at this point. We're just moving pieces around. There's no math.
There's not
like a Russian playbook, chess playbook that we're going off of. Like in 45 moves, you've lost. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just.
Trust me, if you move your king to that part of the board on my territory, I will invade.
We're just moving pieces around.
I tell you what, I will surround your king and I'll hold you hostage. I don't even remember how that works. I think if I move forward, you have the ability to.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Do that.
I think he made that shit up, actually. I don't know. Maybe.
We did for the longest time. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a real legal move.
Oh yeah.
But the way he said it at the time.
Well, every time we
He's
saw
just
him,
like, you're full of shit.
well, every time we saw him in the hallway,
Oh man, it was we hit him so. I think he hated us after a while.
Forget that guy's name. He was like
I have no clue.
He was like a student aide. He was probably
No, he was a teacher.
No,
he was the chemist. He was I know he was one of the science teachers.
I don't think so.
No, he was. He was real young, and he was only there for like, I want to say 2 years.
I don't remember.
He came around the same time Mr. Stazuski came around.
I don't know what he's
in a
up
sense.
to.
He had a lot of health problems. I think he had a heart attack. He went. I mean, he was a big guy, you know. But I'm almost positive he's still there. I think he's still at Richards. I think he's still doing his thing. I think, you know, he tried to make history fun. He wasn't any Boone, but he tried to make history fun.
I think I skipped his class for the most of the last my senior year. I barely went to his class. I think he was a nice enough guy though.
I mean, we were in the class together and we questioned it because I remember specifically our counselor said, we will never put you in a class together again ever. Yeah. And somebody slipped up and put us in a class together. And, I mean, we did it again.
We had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of fun. Not a lot of learning, but a lot of fun. I don't know. I thought, I feel we learned some things.
Yeah, Jim. Yeah. Oh, man. He made history fun, though. Like, I mean, he's the reason why I am politically the way I am now, because of him.
Oh, he's a huge Democrat. I heard he.
Who, Boone?
Yeah.
Or no, Boone was a Republican.
No, he's a Democrat.
He had a picture of Bush on his desk.
I gave it to him. I gave him that picture.
Did you?
Yeah. As a joke, because I knew he's a Democrat. First off, all teachers are Democrats, right? Like, can we agree on that?
I thought he was a Republican. I thought he was hardcore. I mean, he was. What was he? Was a Ranger. I remember he was a Ranger at one point in time too.
Well, here's the. Yeah, he was a conservative, but he's pretty confident he voted Democrat.
Yeah, he's maybe maybe probably categorized as more
conservative.
libertarian style.
He was like a white collar, but he was a old school classical liberal.
There you go, George Carlin kind of type.
Oh yeah, to a certain extent.
You know what? Yeah.
But even Mr. Boone was more family man. I think from all I could.
Well, he grew up in a different age where liberalism was something different, completely different than what it is today.
Sure.
He was a traditional liberal. He did small government, leave me alone, leave you alone, do whatever you want. I'm gonna do whatever I want. Like he was a really good guy. I really got to look him up.
I heard someone told me that he might have no longer left our mortal coil.
I still need to find him. It's just one of those things, man. I need to see him.
His grave?
I will, yeah. And I will give him, yeah. I mean, regardless of what it is, yeah, that man literally changed my life.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite
I was
teachers.
down a bad path, man. You know that. I was down a really, really bad path. He literally took me aside. Like, I met his wife. I mean, he's a good all-around dude, you know. When I came to school that day and I was all busted up, I had the broken nose, the cut underneath my eye. Everyone was like, "Well, what the hell happened to you?" And I told everybody I got no fight. No, my mother beat the fuck out of me so bad that I couldn't even see straight.
I don't remember that.
And Boone saw that, and Boone that day after that drove me home and took me back there and had a sit down with all of us. You know, and that man, he changed my life. He changed my life.
Yeah, Mr. Boone was a great teacher. And then not to mention the fact that, I hated him when I first got into his class.
He was very annoying, but he grew on us. He grew on me. I mean, he was Panama Canal.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he was even growing on. I think it just became a mutual respect at a certain point where. Yeah. It was probably the first teacher that I respected, I guess. If
Yeah.
that makes any sense. Well, I don't know about
You
the
know what
first.
though? I
I
feel the
think when
same
you're
way.
younger, though, I guess when like a junior high or whatever.
I feel the same way about that Miss Spivey and Miss Pratt. Now Miss Pratt, we destroyed her.
I love Miss
We
Pratt.
almost made. I got a huge respect for her because at the end of the year, she acknowledged us. Like she knew what we were doing in that. She knew we were not there to learn. She knew it, but she took it every day. We
Yeah, it was.
were the worst.
It was. Yeah, it was a comedy hour for sure.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
We didn't
I
have,
don't think there was
the
one
only
day.
thing missing was like our intro band as we walked.
Right?
You know,
Play
give
the
it up.
music.
Whoa.
Oh, good times, man.
Yeah, that
Those
was a lot
those
of
are
fun.
definitely easier times. Like life was so much easier because we weren't dealing with the reality of things, you know. Like now I'm a wheel repair tech guy. You're a salesman. Like I'd never in a million years, if we would have talked about this when we were kids, would you say, I'm an electronic salesman? Wait, what?
I think it would be a good possibility that I would say that I would be in some kind of sales. I've thought about that. I listen to a lot of sales tapes. A lot of my personal philosophies and philosophies
Philosophize.
are very similar to sales, being in sales, right? So it's a kind of, for me, that's ultimately why I consider myself somewhat of a conservative, because I think a lot of these print ideas are kind of transcend life, and like. Um, if you're to be in sales, you have to have a very positive attitude. You have to think you could achieve, you could do anything anything you want. You have to set goals. Um, so these are things that I agree with. So it was very easy for me to go into sales.
Right, right. No, and I feel. Sell me that camera.
Do you need a camera?
I do.
I got one available. How bad do you need it?
You got me already. Sold. Wait, what?
Now don't get me wrong. I think there's a lot of what I do currently is not necessarily one-to-one sales. I'm not selling sailboats or anything. I'm not selling something. I'm ultimately selling my company service, and I'm selling me as a person. I build. I'm more of a relationship builder than a strict salesperson who works on commission. So I build relationships with different companies, and hopefully they'll do more business with us, my company, because they like dealing with me, and they're not. I'm not full of shit. When I tell them what we could do for them, and we could help them out. One of my favorite quotes of all time from one of my favorite guys is Zig Ziglar. Is you could have anything in the world that you want if you help enough people in the world get what they want.
I like that.
And that's ultimately too to go back to a principle that's very similar in improv, in the sense of you're always supposed to make your partner look better, right? So the more you give and help people out, the more you get in return. And great quote. I actually have that on my top of my resume. So feel free to steal that. I've always gotten compliments. First off, Zig Ziglar is a great guy. He another person who left his mortal coil. He's no longer with us. But if you're into sales, Zig Ziglar, fantastic book, and he has a lot of stuff on YouTube. And he's also interesting too because he's like a southern good old boy kind of, because he grew up in the South. So he was legitimately kind of like a traveling salesman, and he kind of has that kind of lot of some different tropes that a traveling salesperson would have. But one of the funniest things he said was he always used to call the Civil War the War of Northern Aggression.
Oh my god.
Which,
Damn.
which you know, if you're a good old boy Southern, guy, I'm sure you'd find that hilarious. And I thought it was pretty funny too.
Oh, I mean, yeah. People grew up at a different age. you know. Oh, he did it. He did it. He went for it. I have no move to counter that. I didn't even think you were gonna do it. Oh man, like this is like life. It's easy at first, but then once you hit that certain point, you're just like, oh, what do I do? How do I do this? Now I gotta sit back and think about it, because I've made many mistakes, many mistakes in my life. But the best part about that is you learn from it, and then you just kind of keep going. You don't stop because you fucked up. You learn from it, and then you just go for it. Fuck. I was really hoping I had like 2 or 3 more moves before you brought her out. But when the bitch gotta go, she gotta go.
Queen likes to get out in the streets.
Likes to go out there and live a little. Well, you definitely stopped me from doing that. That's for sure. Setting up for a good old-fashioned Ukrainian massacre.
From what I hear, they're doing.
They're doing
they're holding their
so
own.
good.
You said they're like an expecting father. Like, oh, look at the Ukraine.
I'm so proud of them. When I was watching it earlier, and I've been following this pretty good. Like, I don't know the political stance of it. I know Russia's mad because the NATO border, and Ukraine is just, hey, leave us the fuck alone, we're independent. But to see average, normal people, somebody who was a salesman last week is now holding his own against the entire Russian army. So there was a picture of an old lady sitting behind a line of bags holding an AK-47, aiming down the scope. That picture, even if it's propaganda, makes my heart rush, because it's like, get him, girl.
I saw a photo of Miss Ukraine 2015 or something. She had she was all decked up with a little machine gun of some kind. I don't know if it was an AK. It didn't look like an AK. That's probably been the only machine gun I could identify from sight.
Not a gun guy?
Yeah, I like guns. I don't know really much about them, so I'm probably a dangerous gun guy.
Not a guy I want to trust with a gun.
Right?
Gotcha.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't just hand me a gun. That would probably be a mistake. Yeah, I mean, I want to get a gun.
Do it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do it.
It's on my to-do list.
At the very least, for protection.
Yeah, I know, but I have a lot of expensive hobbies, and I know I know if I go down that rabbit hole, I'm gonna be into it, and.
So I bought this today. Next week, I bought this today.
Yeah, or going
and you
to,
know what? It
going
is
to the
addictive, man.
range and all that
It's
stuff.
so addictive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. You shoot anything with a higher caliber.
There was this an experience in Vegas that I wouldn't mind trying, where they fly you in a helicopter, go somewhere in the desert, of course. They fly you in a helicopter, and they open the door there, and you have a 50 cal mounted on this helicopter, and you just you shoot like burnt out cars and different things.
That is awesome.
I don't know how much it is. I haven't gotten it.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, the video is pretty interesting. I'm sure you could probably find it somewhere on the internet somewhere, but
Oh, I'm sure.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
Oh, I mean, I would that would be so. Honestly, that would be awesome. That would be one of those things where I would be a kid again. I would act like a straight up child and just it'd be like me in a candy store. What am I looking for? Vegas.
Search Vegas. Helicopter shooting, maybe those are be. Or you might be on a watch list. After that, I'm not sure. Yeah,
Wow.
Duck Go.
And my eyesight's so bad, man. Like,
Helicopter shooting.
where? All right, so
Go down. There you go. Up there. There you go.
see what that looks
See
like.
what that.
I mean, it's
experiences. Gunship helicopter. Yeah, that's
this one right here.
I'm
Or
not sure.
No, maybe it's this one.
Yeah, gunship helicopter in Vegas. I think is a.
Of course, I don't have that ad blocker, so.
Pulling you up for that YouTube Premium.
I know, right? Yeah, these ads are ridiculous.
I know. I get rid of it. I had YouTube Premium for a hot minute, and then
I mean, like to me, it's like you're just paying to watch a video 5 seconds earlier. Let's see here.
Go ahead, pull that trigger.
Oh, dude!
here we go. Like Vegas trip or something that we're watching, but that was the gist of it. Seems like a nice couple.
All right,
Who
like
like it-
I don't
who
know
like-
who you are.
like to videotape themselves. For sure.
That's cool, man. Like that would be such a fun experience to do. Like I had no idea that they do stuff like this.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's I would just
You know what? And I figured because it's in the desert, that's why it's so like okay.
These white sandbags coming into view. Orange silhouette is your target. Wait for my thumbs up. I want you to focus on where your rounds are impacting. Go ahead and blast them. There we go. Keep it coming. Keep that red one. Down and right. Get your good. Keep following that red one. Temporary ceasefire.
That's cool. That's very neat. That's very neat. Very very cool. Very neat. Like I that's something that I'd look forward to doing. Like my the guy I had on the last episode, he travels everywhere. He went got amazing pictures up on his Facebook of like the Grand Canyon cave tours. He does mountain climbing. He big time Christian guy, big time love of God, love of Christ. He believes that you get out there. Live the world. Don't let your life consume you with all this work and all this hell. Basically, he lives a life that I wish I could. He gets and then hopefully sometime in the summer, me and him will go out. We'll go probably maybe somewhere down south. Maybe go to Vegas. Who knows? That's in the planning, in the works. Like I want to start traveling more. All I do is work. Work, come home, so tired, can't really do anything, and then I get my kids every once in a while, so it's just one of those things where it's like it's hard for me to really do anything, but that's what happens when you don't use a condom.
well, could be worse.
Yeah, it's a time in my life though. I'm not gonna lie, that besides all the lessons I've learned that made me a better person, it was my children who saved my life legitly. Like if it wasn't for me having kids, I'd be in prison right now. I guarantee I'd be either in prison or I'd be dead. I guarantee it. The way my life was spiraling out of control.
Yeah, I had money on prison.
Was there a poll? Or
As
was
far
there a
as you
poll?
know, I'm only joking.
I believe it though, man. I believe it. Like God, there's 10-year reunion. What are you doing? Who's got Nino's in jail? And I would probably have put money on that. honestly. You know?
Well, still time.
Damn.
You never know.
At least we're more than 10 years out of high school, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Bets are in, though. But, I mean, I never thought I'd be where I'm at now, but here I am, doing my thing. You know? You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta stay alive. You gotta keep going, you know? Especially with, like, all the health issues and everything. You know, I'm diabetic. I can't eat sugar. I can't do any of that good stuff, so... before I was diagnosed with diabetes, I think I was 280, 285. Now I'm down to 240, 235. So
Well, smooth 247 last time I checked.
that's nice. That's to start boxing.
Well,
man.
I'd like to
get some
get-
weight behind that hit.
Yeah, well, it's kind of upsetting when you watch pro sports or linebacker, Pro Bowl linebacker. He is completely jacked. He weighs 205. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's how I feel when I see it. Like I'm watching wrestling, and you know, you see this guy like weighing 265 pounds, and I look at him, and he's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like Jesus Christ, you can crush anything with those abs. Like, oh my God. And then I look at myself, and it's like, womp womp.
Yeah, not great. Yeah, definitely not 100% looking the way I want to look currently.
Rock the dad bod, man. We're at that age where it's like that's what we gotta learn to rock.
Well, I mean, I think it's appropriate if you're a dad.
I suppose,
You know, you're wearing
yeah.
a uniform at this point. You know.
Yeah.
But-
that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But no, I have no kids, at least none that I know of.
Fair enough.
I keep on getting these letters from Maury though. I just throw them out.
Oh yeah, you don't want to open those. Come
Everyone-
on to the show. We got something free for you. You can have the baby is yours.
You know, it was on the other day. I was watching more. I work from home from quite a bit. You know, so sometimes majority of the time I'll have some background noise or whatever. But like Maury was on today, and I was caught like good, a couple minutes of it. And it's all video cameras now because of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like not really, like you're not even getting a free trip to Connecticut anymore.
No.
Like now it's just a video call. No free trip, no like Hilton breakfast buffet.
See, but-
And it's like congratulations. Either your life's ruined one way or the other. Either it's not your kid, you want it to be your kid, or or it's not your kid at all. Or either way, it's kind of a messed up situation.
It really is. You just like, but see. There's a downside to these video calls because now we can't chase the woman halfway down the hallway as she screams, "No, that's my baby daddy now!"
Yeah.
That was like the best part.
God, it's that's all they do now and more. They have a
Oh
formula.
yeah,
and
that's literally they've devoted themselves.
It's it works.
Or are you a man or are you a woman? That cross-dressing.
I don't know. I haven't seen any of those. I mean, back in the day, you used to catch a Maury episode where like they would try to scare kids straight, and now it's all just pregnancy tests. I think. I saw.
Yeah,
one,
I think that's the money. The money.
I don't really
for
watch
them.
it very often, but wherever I do get a kick out of it. Like it, sadly, I don't. It's like one time I saw an episode where this gal was there. I'll say 9 times, even though it wasn't 9 times. Little
I
Ferris
remember
Bueller
that. I remember
and
that.
it's been there for like 9 times with 9 different guys, and each one comes up negative. Like it's not.
so sure. I am positive. This is my baby daddy.
At
Look
what-
at this baby. He looks just like you.
At what point do you say immaculate reception? Conception.
Immaculate well, if she was
Well,
received well.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Oh man, when we were growing up, it was Maury, Sally, Jesse, Raphael, the
Jerry Springer. That was Jerry Springer. I remember was actually a legitimate show for a while, and then Ricky Lake.
Ricky Lake, yeah, formerly known as Ricky Ocean. No, she was a big woman. She lost a lot of weight. I'm teasing.
I don't think anyone cares. It's Ricky Lake. Like we're doing Ricky Lake jokes here. Just send it. Can we
all
send
all these younger
can we
kids are
send
like,
this
who?
podcast 20 years into the past?
That'd be
And
great.
it would be
That'd
would
be great.
golden.
I'm gonna get a
at
cease
that
and
point.
desist letter in the mail tomorrow.
I don't think anyone really fucking cares about Ricky Lake. But
Yeah, I feel like once they found their niche, and they just knew what people got hooked to, because now, like, I mean, obviously the Jerry Springer's not there anymore, but after a while it was nothing but, you motherfucker, you did this, take this cake and eat it, boom, and then it was just this food fight, then it was just a random fight, then it was just like midgets came out, and then it was like the cross-dressers came out, and then it's like the fucking, like, what's next?
you know, this is what I take away from a lot of those shows. Well, the Maury shows anyway, is a sense of like, well, you know what? There's someone for everybody. You know, these people are getting it on. There's still hope for me. You know, these people found some weird love they can call it their own, or not so love, or whatever they want to do.
Give yourself a Dr. Phil, and you will get everything you need.
As long as
just being you.
As long as there's people getting married who are on death row, I think there's love's out there for you. You know, it is the end of February. It is the end of February. It is the end of February, so it's the end of the love month.
Yeah, November's gonna be a boomer. Oh man, that's funny. Both of my two youngest kids are November babies, both conceived on Valentine's Day. 3 years apart.
Really?
Yeah. It's about the only time I had sex.
So, I feel like you're kind of a big romantic.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. I'm a softie when it comes to that. I really am. I wear my heart on the sleeve, but my hard ass persona really does have like cracks in it sometimes.
Well, I always felt, and we haven't really, hung out in a while here, but I've always felt that you fell in love easy.
I did, and I still do.
You just,
I'm an idiot when it comes to that, and I gotta be careful. I tell myself
I
all
love
the time,
this girl.
I love her. Yeah. Oh God, what a
which
bunch
is,
of
to be honest
mistakes.
with you, not a horrible thing.
You know, because I know exactly
I mean,
what
it's
you're talking about
kind
too.
of. It could be bad, but it's also could be very good though. Right?
That was actually
because would you rather fall in love too easy or be a cynic and not believe in love?
And that's a hard person.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm more cynic, but I feel like I'm a romantic though too. I don't know.
I always thought the women you pulled, man, like
I didn't pull it.
you did.
I feel all right.
They
I feel
were
all right.
nice girls. Sharat, the foreign chick, gorgeous woman. Like, I always thought she was gorgeous. The attitude of personality of a stone rock, but, like, she was always, like, she was really, really beautiful. I don't know what happened to her, but she was, whatever she's doing, I'm sure she's doing great. But,
relationships.
they come and go. And we were the reference you were making about falling in love easy. Like I remember that. That was my very first extremely toxic relationship where I felt I had no out. She trapped me in it. It was a really bad experience. But you were there. You were there for me. As hard ass as you were there for me for that one. Because that one fucking killed me. Because that was the first real long relationship I had, and my one buddy put it perfectly. I was her dog. When she said bark, I barked. When she said bite, I bit.
What was her name? What was that girl's?
It was Kim. I don't wanna say her name, but
That's fine.
we'll call her Mick.
I don't remember. I remember what she looks like. I have no idea what.
I don't even remember what she looked like. Like I kind of scratched her out of my goddamn memory. It was like that's the reference I use every time I see some kind of toxic like attitude in a woman. I'm like, oh man, you're a Kim. I don't want nothing to do with you. You know, and I'm glad I had that as a first relationship because I learned exactly what not to go for. And the very next relationship I had after her, I married her. I married that woman. You know, and it didn't pan out how the way I felt. You know, we were together for 5 years. We got married and then we got divorced. But she taught me to never let a woman 100% control what you do, how you are, who you are. She taught me the value of having freedom in yourself and being yourself. Because when I was with her, I wasn't myself when I was with her. Like, I wasn't funny. I lost everything. I became homeless. I was a scumbag. I was a really bad person back then because of the situation I was in. But I rose above it. Because after that situation was done with, and our situation was done with, you know, and you moved out and you did your own thing. You know, I got kicked out and did my own thing, but I needed that. I look back at it now and it's like I needed that because I was going nowhere fast, you know. So, you know, and everybody needs that little kick in the ass to get their lives kind of going. But I needed that. I needed to be in that kind of relationship, you know? Like, I needed to have that experience to know what it was, what not to do.
Well, I think everyone has that relationship. It just depends on when you have it and how long it lasts, and
I think
what
I let it last a
you
little too long.
what you learn from it.
Definitely learned from that one. Yeah, I definitely learned from that one. Oh, how's your mom?
It's doing good.
That's good. Like, I see pictures every once in a while, but you know, I mean, obviously I don't like creep on Facebook or anything like that, but you know, oh man, I'm gonna hit myself. Don't tell me her name. I'll get it. Darlene?
Yeah, darling.
Ah, yes. Good. I'm really glad I didn't get that wrong.
I don't know your mom's name.
I barely know my own mother's name. That's fine. Nobody knew my mother's name. I did that. That's a purposely done thing.
Anywho's, yeah,
Yeah,
she's doing fine.
That's good. I'm
Yeah.
happy to hear that. Always a wonderful woman.
I think so.
Always has been. I'm pretty sure she still is. You know, she to me, the fact that, I mean, she didn't necessarily take me in. You took me in, you know, but
She was paying the bills though, so it was.
yeah, I mean,
I
it was
wasn't
her
really-
house.
yeah,
I know. Yeah. But like, fuck, she was more of a mother to me than my own mother. You know what I mean? Like, it's like those situations. Like, it's crazy. You know. I think people like that in your life is very important. To have somebody who doesn't directly support you, but will sit back and be like, okay, I'll help you.
Yeah, and that's what I think. I think that's the better form of charity, right? You know.
Oh,
when
absolutely.
When you're, it's not just some bloated thing, you know, nebulous thing. When you actually a friend or, you know, some kind of association, it's not just throwing cash at the problem or anything like, you know,
Right,
or anything
right.
like that. So that's the best form of charity in the sense of,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
To selflessly have just to do selfless acts like that, like that really showed me there's hope in people. You know, like there's good in people. There's love in people. Like there's more than what's out there right now, and that kind of just gives you hope. And like you look at everything that's going on now, nobody wants to help each other. Nobody wants to do it's a lost art in a sense. Like, especially with the virus thing, it's like nobody really wants to even get close to you enough to help you, you know. So if you're struggling, someone's gonna just watch you struggle from across the street. They're not gonna pick you up. They're just, he fell.
Yeah.
Hey, look at him! Look at that idiot! Look at that dumbass!
For sure. Right?
instead of actually helping, they make the situation worse. And like there are very few people on this earth that I can say had a huge impact in my life. Alan Boone, my history teacher, that's one. You, actually, you were probably you're the reason why I started getting into being funny and acting the way that I did, because I just mirrored you. And then
I was marrying you, so I don't know.
and that's the greatest. I don't understand. I think that's why we work so well, because like I saw you acting like a goofball, so I did it in kind. And Miss Fennessy, oh my God, what a wonderful woman. And that's where the magic was. Just like, holy crap, this guy, I like this guy. It was like a hardcore bromance.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
Oh, the rumors. Oh man, good times though. Like the the lessons and the experience that I got from all of that, with the improv, with the comedy, the drama, the fact that I took in myself a loser, and this is how I personally feel. We walked into high school as fucking nobodies, as absolute losers. We left high school one of the most popular two fucking people. Everybody knew who we were.
Well,
Whether you liked us or you didn't.
I think we gave different versions, definitions of popular, but
well, we were known.
yeah, we were known. Yeah, people knew our faces, for sure, for good or bad. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I could never really sit here and say I was popular.
I think you were.
No.
You were a lot more popular than you thought, I think, because everybody I knew was like, "Where's Derek?"
Well, that's because I'm awesome.
That's what I mean. It's like, wait, you're here by yourself?
Yeah.
Where's Derek?
I mean, for what it's worth, I think high school was a lot of fun.
It really was.
I don't think I learned very much. But
no, we really. And honest to God, our counselor literally said we will never put you in a class together.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it was a lot of fun.
It was
for
good
sure.
times.
I mean, take it for what you want for a high school experience. I think it was all right.
Yeah, actually, another thing is because of you, I actually started getting into cooking, culinary, doing stuff like that, and it was that. Actually, specifically, the egg Benedict you had made me.
It wasn't me. I didn't. No egg Benedicts for me.
It was bread, sausage, onion, and I think a little egg on it.
Yeah, was it a breakfast sandwich? Yeah,
something like that.
Something like that.
You made the way you made that. I was like, man, that's slick as fuck. Because you were like, check this out. Because back then you were like, oh, I like to cook. I love to cook. I do like this, and that, and then like that opened the door for me. Like I was like, oh, dude, this is really good. Fuck restaurants.
Cooking's a great skill. I mean, you should definitely. Everyone should know how to cook at least one go-to dish. Ramen
noodle.
Even though I actually have been on a ramen noodle kick, I bought some ramen noodles last couple of.
Oh my god.
Yeah, whatever.
It's the worst kind of sodium. So much salt. So much just garbage.
Whatever. Who cares? I'm working out. I'm balancing out. I'm not drinking. I'm not drinking right now, so I figure I can get myself a little extra sodium or something to balance it out.
Yeah, you probably. I can see that. Down a fifth of vodka, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna get you some noodles, man.
I'm sure it's really bad for you, but it tastes good. I think if you anything in small doses is good for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Whose move is it? I forget.
No, it's your move. It's been your move for the last hour. Oh, I did move her.
Son of a bitch.
And I just realized the dumbest mistake I made too. Cause then I knew you moved your rook, and I didn't, or not your rook, your castle, whatever. I knew you moved
It's
it.
rook.
It's a rook, was that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And I'm like, I knew you moved it, and I know it's going there, so I'm not gonna do a goddamn thing about it.
Well, I mean, very casual game. We're not, we're more bullshitting than playing chess, I would say. Unless we had like an overview camera and we could do like a time
That'd be
lapse. Or
cool.
time lapse something,
You know what I've always like thought was interesting with the speed chess players, or they're just like bam, 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 bam,
Yeah,
bam.
that's something I'm not gonna be. I would never.
That's how like the real chess club guys did it, and I never really I was like, nah.
I'm more just let's play a game, and we're relaxing. Maybe have a couple of glasses of booze or something.
Get lit.
And play a game of chess amongst friends. You get timers and clocks. This game's complicated enough.
Yeah.
I think what's cool about chess is the fact that it could take forever. You could play chess by mail, if you wanted to.
Yeah, probably. Honest to God, probably. Like,
Oh yeah, it used to be back in the day. You'd have a chessboard. This is my move. You had two boards.
yeah. You play in your house. I play at my house. You tell me what number you put on, and then I've seen it. I'd never done it, but I don't know. I'd lose interest. I think I'd lose like focus so fast if I did something like that.
I think it'd be kind of cool to have like once a month do like have a game that could hypothetically last for years.
So, and this is how I realize how dumb I am in this game right now. Not only did I not notice you move that piece into there, I also just noticed that a lot of my pieces are in serious jeopardy with absolutely no protection. Like this guy, you're as good as dead. Damn. He's gone. You attacked my king, you son of a bitch.
Check.
Yes, it is.
I don't know if I want to do that or not.
Wrong space. There you
Where was it?
go. Ahead of the guy. Moving this way. Because you came in here and then killed him, so he would be here, and he was there. No, that's God damn it! I don't know. Rewind it. It shows how much I'm not paying attention.
Where was it? No. Oh yeah, because I killed her. Yeah, I was here.
Okay, yeah.
Jack this up.
Did you? No, my queen wasn't able to move. She wasn't moving. I know that.
No, that's not right.
It was on one of those spaces because my
Because this was right here. Killed you here.
right, yeah. And I didn't move the pawn in front of my king. Oh, no, that's why we're fucking confused, because it's one space back.
Oh, okay, there we go.
I was like, wait a minute, hold on. This doesn't sound right. This doesn't look right at all. See, folks, this is what happens when you don't pay attention. Pay attention in school, kids. So, do you ever think about getting back into doing improv or doing anything like that with, I mean, why not?
Sure, you think about it all the time.
Because you have that you always have that good comedic timing, like Guy. Poor Guy was always 10 seconds off. We'd tell jokes and then he'd come back 5 minutes later and hit the punchline and we'd be like, wait, what? But he got there. You got there. I miss that guy. I miss
I
Guy.
love Guy. Guy's great. Guy's a great guy.
Oh, I bet. I just started recently talking to him again. Hopefully, I can get him on next weekend and make some magic with him too.
I went to his little wedding reception.
How was that?
This is some years ago.
I was gonna say he's been with the same woman for a very long time.
Yeah.
Very proud of that.
This still isn't right. I think I had it in here.
Well, yeah, because you hit him and you said check.
What are? Oh, yes, right. Because that's what I wanted. That's what it was. Okay, gotcha. Anyways, your move. Now we're going. Now, because I killed your bishop, killed or captured or whatever you want to say.
Geneva Convention, bro. You can't tell anybody you killed me. You know,
Yeah, I think about it. I love improv. It's always obviously it's kind of hard. I mean, it's I don't know, to make a living on it. I mean, I guess that's kind of putting the cart before the horse, I suppose. But it's kind of an interesting art form. I think it's more of a great. I've always wanted to have my own like studio and be the. This is how egomaniac I am. I'll be the teacher. I'll make sure I'll have level. I'll take care of level whatever. You know, the arrogance that I have that I can teach it at a high level. You know, but I would think it'd be cool to have a little studio, basically a bar. And you know, great thing about improv students and people who do improv, they'll generally do it for free because it's free entertainment. I feel like I think it's a good business model.
It's free.
Is to exploit young people who want to be famous or funny or acting.
You want to be famous, don't you?
Well, come on here, sit on my lap. I'll make you a star.
Let's talk about it. I'm gonna make you famous. Oh my god. Oh, that's great.
You know, but yeah, which you know, we'll see. Like, I do have a vision of my future, and you know, there's definitely a scenario where I'm this big bearded guy. You know, oh, this is comedy. You know, or do you know,
The guru.
yeah. There's incense burning for whatever reason. You know?
Not even into it, but fuck it. There it is. It smells great.
Yeah, so that'd be I've always thought of that as
I think I
because I really love improv. I think you could make a living. You could make a profession out of it if you had the right scenario.
Oh yeah.
If you had your if it was a good bar and it was good improv and people like a show.
And I feel like the 80s and like the 90s were really good with comedy. You know, like it was almost like so natural and it flowed so well. Especially like improv where you got your Dan Aykroyd's, your Bill Murray's, you know, like those guys that just like literally paved the way, like, you know, and then you had experience with Second City and before it closed, unfortunately.
Well, it's still running.
Oh, it does? Is it?
Yeah.
I thought they had shut down the theater. I know they're doing the classes, but I thought the theater shut down. They said something about they were stopping it.
I have a friend who works at Second City, and as far as I know,
Oh, no kidding.
she, I think they got the shows. I know they're doing classes again. So Improv Olympic or IO that officially closed down.
I think that's what my mistake is. I think I'm mistaking those two because I remember they kind of came hand in hand. Second City and Improv Olympics.
Which was a pretty it's a pretty interesting people who are. I'm nowhere in there, just improv community at all at this point.
Right? Yeah. No.
I'm very far from it at this point in my life, but it is kind of interesting the feud that was between Second City and Improv Olympic or IO. I don't think they could even say Olympic or because of trademark from the Olympics, which is like because you know you could confuse like a javelin toss with yes and. You know, like I don't understand. You know, I don't know. It is what it is. It's kind of silly to me. Like I don't know.
Not running the 400-meter dash here.
Yeah, it's like like the concept of like you would think like the Olympics would be like think they're too big. Like why would they care? You
Right?
know?
Yeah, you would think so, but
You know, but apparently there are some lawyers that were, they needed to. It had to have been between Olympics, of course, right? It had to have been like a year two or something, like between the summer and winter. It's where they're a little bit bored, I imagine. Yeah. Because like if you're running the Olympics, like you're not the host city, and it's like, what do you do? Like, what's your day to day? I wonder. Just trying to find the next Olympic spot, make sure they're building shitty stadiums that will collapse a year after they leave.
oh god. I wonder like how they determine where it will be. Like I want to know. I would like to know the process of like how they determine where the fuck they're gonna do it. Like what do they do? Just like who got the money?
I think it's somewhat like that, but it's just ultimately they just have a proposal and this is how we're going to do it, and we think it's going to be a good show. I watch zero Winter Olympics. I don't know about you. I've watched first off Winter Olympics. You know, boring.
I have not watched any bit of the Olympics this year. I have no idea. All I know is some American Chinese chick is now, because it was on the news, and she got humiliated.
The only thing I would China. Well, I think a couple of storylines that just passed was there was a defector, an Asian gal.
I think that's the one I'm talking about.
She was born in the United States, but then she defected to China.
Yeah. I think
Or
it was that.
she participated for China.
Yeah, she made a decision to play for China.
I don't know if she's a citizen.
I know she dropped her citizenship. I didn't realize that it was that serious.
Well, she's got a lot of. She's very popular in Asia, so she's gonna make.
I've noticed.
Great.
She's got millions of dollars of endorsements.
Great business. Not too patriotic, but good business. Not the most patriotic move, but good business move.
Yeah.
You
She
know,
can make
unless
that
you
money.
don't mind shaking hands with the devil every once in a while.
Regardless.
Careful what you say; you might get disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't wanna talk about the Clintons.
Anyways,
You don't wanna find yourself dangling in your own bedroom.
for the record, I love the Clintons. I think they're. I would go off with Bill any day of the week. So
You know what? I
your
wouldn't
problem-
mind having a conversation with
I
Bill.
don't know your problem with the Clintons.
I would have a conversation
Frankly,
with Bill.
I think that's slander at this point. That you could bring up the Clintons like that.
I already
Faceless.
Is it getting hot here?
The red dot.
I know, right?
Just right there. But you know what though? I think it would be cool that, like, in a weird way, it would be cool to have a certain level of power or success that the Clintons would want to kill you. Like, you know, you made it.
Right. You get that. You don't even get the knocking on the door. You just get the silhouette in the room, like, I did it. Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Where do you want it?
Yeah, it's right here.
2 in the chest, 1 in the head. Oh boy. Yeah, if Mike, we're demonetized. Yeah, you got to be careful what you say on YouTube nowadays, man. You can't joke about a lot of things anymore. People get really offended really quickly.
Well, I was talking about saying I was letting some of my friends and my family know I was going to do this thing, and I think it'd be just get to the point where, like, it'd be fun. You got to get to a point where people will get pissed off at you. Like, I think I think there's something cool, definitely something cool about that. As long as it doesn't get too much.
Well, you can't live your life without pissing somebody off.
I hear you on that.
You gotta crush a few eggshells to make yourself an omelet. You know, it is what it is. Sometimes sometimes you gotta go over the little guy to make sure that you're just a little bit bigger. Check. Oh wow. Well, sir, you can kindly go fuck yourself. Oh God, is that? No, it's not. It is not good. Damn. Well, I'm glad we fucked up that piece. And there's the wipe. The bull wipe. And I'm just like, well, what do I do now?
Well, like I said, we're just moving pieces here.
At this point, yeah, I got retreat. You know what I also find very very interesting, like doing like all like the learning all about the YouTube stuff and everything like that, and like just like there's a little like I don't know if you listen to Joe Rogan's podcast or Steven Crowder's. You know, they got.
Yeah, big fan of Steven Crowder.
I love that guy. It's a big inspiration. He's a big inspiration. I feel like I want my goal is to be a third as popular as they ever were. You know, like if I can just smell the sweat on them, then I'm good. If I can get that close, I'm all right. I'm like, oh, man. Hi, I love you. You know, I got a lot of respect for those guys because like they risk their whole like thing. You know, like just talking about whatever needs to be talked about, and I feel like it's people like that are opening the eyes of like a lot of people. Like they like. Before I started listening to these radio shows or like the podcasts or whatever, I had no idea what was going on in the world. You know, it's like a rabbit hole. It just keeps going and going. Like and the more I dug into it, the more this fucking world is scary. Like the real world is ridiculous. Like it's like you could either live in it or try to make it perfect in a sense. You know, you can either learn to live with everything or try to change everything to be what you want it to be. And that's kind of how I feel like the divide between a liberal and a republic, or not a Republican, but like a liberal and a conservative right now. It's like conservatives are learning to live with everything. Liberals want to make a perfect little world for themselves. They don't want to be scared. They don't want to be hurt.
Well,
they don't want to be insulted. They don't want to be.
Right. Well, the issue is and I kind of get what you're saying, is not necessarily is I wouldn't care if a liberal wanted to make a perfect world for themselves. It's the problem is they want to make a perfect world for everyone, and
right.
Their perfect world is not my perfect world.
Exactly.
And conservative is all about, and that's why ultimately I'm a conservative, because I'm a big micro guy, in a sense of you can only control yourself. So if you are the best person you could be, and you make the best decisions for you and your family, by osmosis, you will make your neighborhood better or your town. And if your town's better,
everybody follows suit.
Right. And if your town's better, well, your whole community will be better, and your state will be better, and then eventually, hopefully, Lord willing, it would get to all the states in the union.
In the union, that's good. I haven't heard that in a while.
Right, it's still the union, isn't it? Where?
Can you still say that? Like, is that okay?
States in the union?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know, I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah.
I've been I'm doing a lot of American history things.
Kings and generals.
Yeah. So cramp.
Get stretched, man. Drink more water.
I did drink plenty of water today.
I don't think sparkling water counts.
I think it does. It's still water. It's just sparkled.
I guess.
Hey, sparkle water. Hey, I was gonna go with a joke that I couldn't stick with it. Sparkly waters matters too, Betty.
Right. Sparkly waters matter too. I like my traditional.
I love sparkling water.
You know, and I don't know. I cannot do the seltzer water, sparkly water. It's like for some reason I feel like it.
It's great.
It's just so flat to me.
Great.
You know?
Well,
Like
it's
bitter.
the
But then again,
it's
well, I mean, like
it's the opposite of flat.
I like not flat as in the carbonation, as in like the flavor. But maybe it's just the shit that I've drank.
Well, it's the opposite of. I mean, it's a great soda replacement or pop replacement.
Well, that I can see. Yeah,
whatever
that
you want
absolutely.
It, like, so it actually
that,
gives
all the
you
garbage.
the carbonation that I love, and it's good for nothing for you.
I don't think I've drank soda or any kind of dark cola kind of drink in 10 years.
Oh, good for you.
I
drink a lot of diet stuff, so it may not be its calories, but probably give you cancer.
Right. And it's like same thing with like McDonald's, you know, like all that garbage. I haven't had McDonald's in years. I don't want it, you know. It's like why put myself through that misery? Because like the last time I swear to God, it was a double cheeseburger. Down it, just a double cheeseburger. I felt like I ate like 7 of them. I felt bloated, I felt slow, and I felt really tired. And I never understood why. And it only felt like that after I ate like McDonald's or Burger King or like the fast food junk. And that's when I got that realization. It's like, man, I really need to not do this anymore, because I was starting to have health issues, like worse off than what I was. And it's like I didn't understand why. And then I started learning about like probiotics and gut health and a really, 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 really good friend of mine. I mean, I guess you could say I'm seeing her. I don't know. You'll see. But she's really into like the health. She sells this product called Plexus. So and as far as I know, it's a really good like health supplements, health like nutrition stuff. It's all natural, you know. And I started taking some of it, and it did make me feel a hell of a lot more energetic, a hell of a lot more healthier. And then after that, I got more conscious with it. You know, I don't eat fast food anymore. I only cook. I don't let my kids eat fast food unless it's pizza. I love pizza. I do not consider pizza fast food unless you go to those paper pizza places like Pizza Hut or Little Caesars, all that crap.
Yeah, that's fast food.
Yeah, that exactly. I call it paper pizza because it really does taste like you're eating the box. You know, I love my mom and pop shops.
I will eat Domino's from time to time. I will do that.
Well, you do drink a lot. I don't know the connection between the two, but you know. Oh man, you know what though? Like I really do enjoy like the mom and pop shops, like the like you know the small little hole in the wall pizza place, because they always seem to have the best pizza.
What's your favorite pizza place?
Phil's.
Phil's
in Oak Lawn. Phil's Pizza. It's a little expensive, but holy shit, does it fill you up?
I was gonna make a comment about it, but I can't really say one way or the other if it's good or bad. I can't really recall. I'm sure I've had Phil's because I grew up in the Oak Lawn area. You know,
Oh yeah, they've been there for absolutely
the best pizza
the
hands
longest times.
down in the south side of Chicago is Vito's and Nick's.
You know what? When it comes to traditional thin crust, I will say that Vito Nick's, and then Vito Nick's 2, that's right over here in Palos. Every time I call, they're like, "Oh, hi, Christopher, the usual." Like, yeah. So you know,
Sounds like a very feminine man who answers the phone.
yeah, he's very good at it. But I always get the same thing. Large sausage pizza with side of Buffalo Wild Wings or Buffalo flavored wings. I'm a big wing guy now. Like,
Everyone's a big wing guy. Who's not a wing guy?
well, I never used to be. I would always avoid it. I would always, I don't know why. I was just, until I got to that like certain level of maturity when it came to food.
So you graduated to wings.
Yeah, I like wings now.
Gotcha.
I went from eating bullshit chicken nuggets and like just garbage from like Burger King. Like
What's
just
your thought
that.
on the boneless wing?
You mean the chicken nugget? Or no? What's the other word for it? A chicken tender?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's a tender.
There's a great video where I don't know if you've seen it, but where this guy goes and he's in front of like a city council meeting, and he's complaining about like they should rename the boneless wings to something else. It's hilarious. It's a funny video. Yeah, it's like I forget. I'm sure if you Google it in a certain way, you'll find it. But he's in a town hall meeting of some kind, and he's like, I need to talk about something.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
How would a town hall
Boneless wing debate.
Let's see.
There it is right there.
Bam! Wow! Right on top. No way. Of course, you got. It's like almost every time. They don't even give you any leeway anymore. It's like it just doesn't even matter. It's just as bad as like regular TV now. All right, where's the? See what this is up to.
Boneless chicken wings. His passionate plea came during a city council meeting in Lincoln, Nebraska. His name is Andrew Christensen, and if you haven't heard him yet,
let's try to find the.
So it's there. It's just you gotta.
I think this.
It might be the same one. Go to main argues city. Go down. Go that one.
Let's see.
I propose that we as a city remove the name boneless wings from our menus and from our hearts. We have been casually ignoring a problem that has gotten so out of control that our children are throwing around names and words
I love the way he
without
looks.
even understanding them. Treating things as though they're
Redheaded,
normal.
Red beard.
I go into nice family restaurants and I see people throwing this name around and pretending as though everything is just fine. I'm talking about boneless chicken wings. I propose that we as a city remove the... Excuse me, I'm trying to... Excuse me. Come on. I propose that we as a city remove the name boneless wings from our menus and from our hearts. These are our reasons why. Number one, nothing about boneless chicken wings actually come from the wing of a chicken. We would be disgusted if a butcher was mislabeling their cuts of meats, but then we go around and pretending as though the breast of the chicken is its wing. Number two, boneless chicken wings are just chicken tenders, which are already boneless. I don't go to order boneless tacos. I don't go and order boneless club sandwiches. I don't ask for boneless auto repair. It's just what's expected.
He makes a
And then number
really
three,
good
we
point,
need to raise
though.
our children better.
Yeah.
Our children are raised being afraid of having bones attached to
Oh
their
yeah,
meat. That's where meat comes from. It grows on bones. We need to teach them that the wing of a
the
chicken
lady in the background
is
just
from a
laughing
chicken,
her ass
and
off.
it's delicious. I propose that we rename boneless wings in the city of Lincoln. We can call them buffalo-style chicken tenders. We can call them wet tenders. We can call them saucy nugs or trash.
Or
We
trash.
can take these steps and show the country that where we stand, and that we understand that we've been living a lie for far too long, and we know it because we feel it in our bones.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is great. Oh, that is awesome. That is the greatest, right? That is awesome. No way.
Yeah.
And he was dead ass
Well,
serious.
he played it very serious for sure.
Unreal.
It's the only way to play it. serious.
That man was dead ass serious.
Well, I order nuggets. I'm not gonna lie. I order the buffalo. I'm buffalo boneless buffalo wings. I don't care.
I think I've been to what's that place called? The Buffalo Wild Wings. Like it's
pretty big. Pretty big chain.
It is. It's just chicken tenders. That's all it is.
I've had some bags. Buffalo Wild Wings. Not great. Not the greatest anymore. I used to go there all the time. Not a big fan anymore.
I'd get tired of it. It's like a place you go there every once in a while. You know, the seasoning and all the sauces they had was really cool. But I can't see myself doing one of those like once a week kind of things. Like that's just too much.
Well, yeah, I would say once a week is a little much. I think, unfortunately, Buffalo Wild Wings, where they went askew, is they got rid of their formula for success was chicken wings. Now there's a lot of stuff on the menu here that I don't care about. I'm not going to Buffalo Wild Wings for a burger. I'm just not going to do that. Unless you go to Buffalo Wild Wings incredibly a lot, then
Right,
maybe
yeah, you want a burger, go to Hooters.
Maybe you do want a burger. I don't know, but not me, sir. That's what I say.
You know, and I do like that they do have some really good sauce, some really hot sauce. Like the seasoning they use on the fries is really good. But it's just it's literally the adult version of a McDonald's kids menu.
Yeah, I also order chicken nuggets.
It's like I order McDonald's Happy Meals. Like, what do you mean?
I'm not a huge. I did order McDonald's breakfast not so long ago.
Again, it's been so long. I can't even imagine how that tastes though. Like it's
Sadness.
been so good.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
man.
I feel the same like after like a one night stand, you know, and eating like three three McMuffins and like 4 hash browns is like it's a similar experience after.
Then wake up the next morning. Oh.
Yeah, just like
Oh.
it's great in the moment. It's great in the moment, but it's like nothing. Yeah, then afterwards, God, especially I am trying to lose a little lbs and work out a little bit, so not great for the.
I mean, you look all right. You don't look like. I mean, you're not like me. Big, monstrous gut, you know, and just trying to. You look like you've managed to keep yourself in at least decent shape.
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of like I think my physique right now is kind of like the scene from Pulp Fiction where they have to after they accidentally blow the brains out of Marvin, I think his name,
Mm-hmm.
And they have to put the blankets there and everything, where it's like good at a glance, but if you really start poking around, you'll notice some shit that's fucked up about it. Ultimately, that's how I feel about my physique. Like at a quick, you're looking all right.
Right.
But
Give it a minute.
But obviously everything when it comes, I think physiques, everyone's their biggest critic. There's a ton of Instagram models, I'm sure, that probably hate the way they look until they get the check from the Saudi prince. And
that big Prince money payroll right there.
well, yeah, I think ultimately, right, to a certain extent, I think that's going on quite a bit.
Hey, I'd accept that much money.
I would too.
Oh man, thanks for coming on, man. Like this.
Well, thanks for having
This is
me.
eye-opening experience. Like I like this. I want you to come on again, and I want and do many more of these. Again, I can only grow from here. I'm only gonna get bigger with this. It's only gonna get better. I'm gonna get better equipment, better everything in time.
This will be one of the episodes that nobody ever 10 years from now that they'll have to. What the hell?
What the hell were you thinking?
Yeah, what's going on here? So yeah, hopefully that's the dream, right?
Oh yeah, and it's the goal to be successful.
Because I'm not saying this. Well, hopefully maybe one day it's just like you said, a fraction of maybe what Joe Rogan.
Right.
that'd be
Yeah.
great.
Just a taste
But
of it.
I listen to Joe Rogan a little bit from time to time. I love about Joe Rogan too is he leads you to different people that you can explore on your own. Like, I liked what this guy had to say. Let me see what he has to do. But I guess my point was, obviously Joe Rogan, they all have podcast numbers. Now it's 200. Whatever.
Oh, he's in the thousands.
So yeah,
He's been doing it for like 10, 15 years.
I don't know. Have you seen number one?
That's a good point.
I haven't seen. Now obviously I'm sure
I think I'm gonna look.
there's probably like a P, which would be an interesting one, right? That'd be like the very, very first one, and see how far he came, because obviously he's the pinnacle of media right now. I would say.
Oh yeah.
Or even the single digits or double digits, or so it's got to start somewhere.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. And that's ultimately my goal is to make people smile, make people see other people's opinions, because that's the whole point of this is to sit down and have just a regular casual normal conversation and put it online. Why not? Why not see what happens? Why not? But it was an honor and a privilege, my friend. Thank you very much. I hope you come on plenty of times, and when I'm super famous and rich, and we'll get that school opened up, and we'll get that bar going. All right, yeah. And as always, have fun, be safe, and wear a condom. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, do what you got to do.
Or just pull out. It's horrible advice. Don't do that. That's
Oh, man. Shooting blanks, bro.